Hi there. Today I'm going to show you how I created this little box. Now this one I've sized to hold one of our miniature boxes of chocolates. I've used the Stippled Blossom stamp set to decorate it, together with some of our in colour papers and cardstock. I've used one of the itty bitty punches, the little flower, and the Scallop Tag Punch to form the closure. I've also used the Flowering Flourish stamp set to decorate the lid. The rest of the box is just left plain. Okay, now because some of these products are retiring at the end of this month in the UK, the box I'm going to create for you today is going to be slightly different. Okay, so let's get started. To begin with, you need 2 pieces of cardstock. The larger one needs to be 10 inches by 6.5 inches. The smaller one, which we'll use for the lid, needs to be 4.25 inches by 3 inches. Now we're going to score both pieces. We'll start with the larger one. You want the longest side running across the top of your scoreboard, and you need to score down at 3 inches, 4.75, 7.75, and 9.5 inches. Then give it a quarter turn and score down again at 1.75 inches. The second piece, again with the longer side running across the top, you want to score down at 1/2 inch and 2.25 inches. After scoring, we want to do a little bit of cutting to enable us to put our box together. Now the horizontal score line runs across the cardstock here, and underneath you've got rectangular and square sections. Now we want to cut up straight along the score line to the horizontal score line on either side of the larger rectangular pieces. Okay, on either side of the square pieces we want to slant cut. Okay, and this little end section we're going to remove completely. So straight cut the larger rectangular sections, and then we're going to slant cut the smaller square sections. Now this little section we're going to take off completely, but at the same time I'm going to slant cut this long thin tab. Okay, so when the box is put together, that will ensure that you don't get any bits poking up over the top. Okay, and it will just go together neater. To complete the lid, all we have to do is trim the sides of this 1/2 inch section, this strip here. This is where we're going to put our glue to join it to the box eventually. So we'll just take those corners off, and then on the opposite side, on the wrong side, just mark the centre point, so that's at 1.5 inches. Okay, and then we take our Scallop Tag Topper Punch, ease our lid into that and turn it upside down, and then all I'm doing is centering that pencil mark into the middle of that centre scallop. Okay, and when you're happy, punch it out, and that gives us our nice shape for the closure. Okay, when we've done that, we need to cut off these 2 wing bits. Now you can use your scissors, but I like to ensure that the cuts are nice and straight, so I use my trimmer. Okay, now all I do, if you ignore the wing bits for now and just look at the top of the scallop, if you line that up at 2 centimetres, and then you can cut. You feel when the blade has finished cutting, because there's like a little drop. So we do that on both sides. There we go. Okay, take those off. And there's our lid, almost finished. I've gone ahead and stamped my box. I've used basic grey ink. I've just stamped the sides and the back of the box, leaving the front plain. I've used the Everything Eleanor stamp set, this large flourish stamp. I've also stamped the lid. I've already layered the paper onto the mat. This will go on the front of the box, and I've also got a small piece that will go on the front of the lid. Okay, now the sizes for this are, the cardstock is 4.5 inches by 2 3/4 inches, and the paper is 4 1/4 inches by 2 1/2 inches. Okay, for the lid, the cardstock is 2 3/4 inches by, it's just under an inch, and the paper is 2 1/2 inches by about 3/4 of an inch. Okay, just under actually. Okay, so we want to add our front panel to our box, and I'm using Tombow multi-purpose adhesive. Position that on the front, making sure it's nice and straight. There we go. And the same for our lid. Oh, let's get it up the right way. That's why I love Tombow. It gives you that just a few seconds of wiggle room where you can correct any mistakes. There we go. Okay, the next thing to do is to add our brad. Now, to position this, if we put our lid in place, okay, then all I want to do is mark about 1 centimetre or so, which is about 1/2 inch down from that middle scallop, and then pierce a hole and add our brad through. Now, you don't want this to be tightened too much, you want it left quite loose so you can get the baker's twine wrapped around it later on. Okay, and then we can add our lid to our box. So we're going to add our glue to this 1/2 inch section. And that goes on the back of the box, like so. Just give that a second to dry. And then we can crease all our score lines using our bone folder. There we go. Okay, the next thing to do is to add glue to this long thin tab at the side of the box. And then stick the opposite side to it. There we go. Okay, nearly done. Then we're going to do the base of our box. Now, you've got 4 tabs on the bottom. I always fold, oh, a little bit of glue there. I always fold my back tab in, and then I add glue to the remaining 3. So that's the side ones and the front tab. Take it right to the edge so I don't get any lift, and then the side ones fold in first and then the front one. Give that a press down from the inside. We can add our chocolates now at this stage. Okay, and then to create our closure, all you need is a length of baker's twine. This, I think it's about 10 or 12 inches. 12 inches. Fold it in half and then push the loop down through the front of the Scallop Tag Topper, and then you pull your ends through the loop. Okay, so it makes it nice and neat. Then all you do is you open up the 2 ends. One goes one side, one goes the other side. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie those really loosely together. If you do it too tight, they'll never get the box open. Okay, so nice and loose, and then just tie it into a bow. There we go. And trim off your ends. Okay, so we're nearly done. The next thing to do is to stamp your sentiment or your image that you want to decorate your box with. Now, I've used a new stamp set that's being released on the 1st of July in the UK. I can't show you the stamps yet, I'm not allowed to, so I've already done the stamping. And I'm going to punch that out using our artisan label punch. Okay, so I'm just going to line that up and pop him out. I also want to punch 2 more in basic grey because I want to create a frame for my sentiment panel. Now, to do that, I want to cut each of these in half. So I cut one in half one way and one in half the other way. Okay, now this one is for the top and the bottom. So I add my glue and then just offset it slightly so it frames it, and again on the top. Get that even. Okay, now I'm just going to do the sides. Now the sides, I cut away these pieces so they don't stick out and show. Okay, so I just snip those off. So it's just this very side bit that I want to keep. And then apply my glue. Okay, and then that will go on the side section. And the last one, make sure they're all even. There we go, and that's framed that nicely. Dimensionals on the back. And take the backing off. And we'll add that to the box. Okay, and then just to finish off, first I want to add a rhinestone to my brad. Then just to finish off, I want to add a little flower punch out. Now this again is a new product, so I can't show you the punch unfortunately, not till the 1st of July. But it's a set of 3 punches and you'll love them. Okay, so just add the flower and then again a rhinestone to finish off. There we go. And the box is complete. So we have my original one and my new design. Okay, it's really simple to adjust the measurements for this box, and you can make it fit anything that you like. For instance, I've got another one here, okay, which is wider but smaller, shorter, and that holds some Gillian chocolates. I've also got this one, which is much thinner, much smaller, and this one holds a little, just a little cello bag full of some lengths of ribbon and buttons and things ready to give to my next hostess for her party gift. And there we go. Thank you for joining me.